Hello YouTube and people of the interwebs, welcome back to another video. Now, today's video, Doctor Who is dying. Yeah, this is going to cause a stir of controversy and whatever in the comments section, but you know, it is fact basically, because although I do really enjoy Series 12 and I don't hate the new era, a lot of people do, I personally quite enjoy it. The viewing figures and merchandise and everything really is kind of slowing to a halt. And yes, that sounds incredibly dramatic, and it might be too dramatic to say it's dying. But today, I'm full of optimism, and I want to share with you my ingenious, I wouldn't call it ingenious, I'm not clever, plan on how to save Doctor Who, how to bring Doctor Who back into the public eye, and make it a must-watch TV show or Netflix series. Like back in the days with Tennant.
I'm the Doctor. I'm a Time Lord.
And Tom Baker.
I'm the Doctor.
No, Doctor. I'm the Doctor, and I say that you're not fit.
You may be a doctor, but I'm the Doctor. The definite article, you might say.
Achieving millions of TV viewers. That's my plan. So yeah, today I'm going to be exploring that. Now, first off, we need to establish, at the current rate, how long does the show actually have left until, just like the classic series with Survival, the BBC just axe it and go, no, Doctor Who, you're not coming back.
Doctor in distress.
At least, I'd say, at least we have until the 60th anniversary. So probably, possibly one more Doctor and two or three more series. I'm not sure. I'm going to say at least we have 2 more series and probably, incredibly likely, one more Doctor after Whittaker. How do we get people to watch it again? Now, loads of ideas that have been thrown around previously. Make it into a Netflix show, sell it to someone, sell it to Netflix, sell it to Amazon, whatever. Is that necessarily a good idea? Because when you look at the way Netflix runs shows, they make as much money as they can and then cancel, because they're not going to need hundreds of seasons of Doctor Who. We might have a very short-lived, very loved era of the show and then it'll be over. So I personally don't think selling it wholly to Netflix is the best of ideas. Could it sort of join the trend of things like the Marvel Universe and become the Doctor Who cinematic universe? Could Doctor Who stop being a TV show, and does it have the potential to become a movie or series of movies?
I am inevitable.
Maybe. I don't know. I personally would prefer it stay as a TV series, and I don't know if it does have that global appeal to everyone to become a movie, like there have been Doctor Who the TV movie from Paul McGann.
I always dress for the occasion.
Which, yeah, that was Americanised and didn't really work. That's one thing as well. I think Doctor Who should always stay as an explicitly British thing.
I did my duty for Queen and country.
Sometime within the 2020s, by the end of this decade, I think Doctor Who will end. It's sad, but it's true.
Everything ends. That is always sad. But everything begins again too. And that's always happy.
But I don't think it'll end completely and forever. Obviously, we'll always have comics and classics and whatever to always go over, but I think Doctor Who has a longevity that it's going to survive for hundreds of years in some form. Because we've got to remember as well, TV itself is a dying media, and we don't actually know what the next big thing is. Humans probably haven't thought of it. Like, if you go back 20 years and said Netflix and Amazon Prime and Disney Plus, all these streaming services, people had no idea that they'd ever exist. Yet, here we are, and they're squashing the TV competitors. So probably, within the end of the decade, or even 2 decades' time, there will be something completely new that Doctor Who could survive as an entertainment show on. Don't ask me what it is, because sadly, I'm not actually a time traveller. So, my big plan, how to save Doctor Who. What would I do if Today I was given the reins and they said, go for it, Joe, you're now Doctor Who's showrunner. Well, first off, we need the 60th anniversary. Now, we've got to bring back the audience because that's the main problem at the moment. Yes, you can say the writing's not up to scratch, yes, you can say Timeless Child's controversial, but you've got no show if you've got no audience. So, yeah, we're bringing back Tennant, we're bringing back Smith, we're bringing back Capaldi, hopefully Eccleston, maybe even McGann, who knows, but the 60th anniversary is going to be its own little season of Doctor episodes. So episode 1 will be just a completely normal story with Tennant's Doctor, and in the end he's thrown into this other universe. Same, episode 2 Matt Smith, 3 Capaldi, 4 Whittaker, whatever. And then, by the finale of that mini-series, you get a big Doctor team up. They all team up together.
All 12 of them. No, sir. Ah! All 13!
To, I don't know, fight Sacha Dhawan's master, restore Gallifrey, something like that. Don't rip off Day of the Doctor. But yeah, that sort of thing. That would all be done under Chibnall's run in an ideal world. Then, this is where I'd take over the show. I'd leave a 2 or 3 year gap. I'd just stop. I'd work everything out exact and get it as best as possible. Leave a hiatus so that the audience can they'd still have hype from the 60th, but they'd have dropped off and thought, like, their lasting memory would be positive Doctor Who. This would give us time to perfect and write the best seasons of Doctor Who you could ever imagine. Because of the state of the fandom, there would have been a renewed interest reminding people that Doctor Who is still a thing with the 60th anniversary, but we'd have taken a break. So everyone would have calmed, the anger would have gone, the Timeless Child rage would have stopped. We'd be offered a fresh slate. Now, this fresh slate is incredibly important because that's what it is. It is a new take, a fresh take. New Doctor, new new showrunner, new companions, new TARDIS, new literally everything. The chance that Chibnall was given, but sort of failed to capture the audience's imagination. Now, how do we capture the audience's imagination with this new take? Well, we need a new Doctor. Now, I'm not actually sure who to cast. Please tell me in the comments who you think would fit the description I'd be looking for. But we want something kind of nostalgic yet new. We want someone like David Tennant, but not a clone of David Tennant. We need that adventure, swashbuckling style, happy-go-lucky sort of character. So, yeah, any British actor who's relatively young but not too young, like a bit older than Matt Smith and a bit younger than David Tennant, that sort of age, good acting, whatever. That's who we need to cast as the Doctor. I can't think of any actors who fit that, but then again, I don't know everything about actors, so comments. Now, where this Doctor would differ from Tennant's, they would be basically an asexual character, so they don't have all these romantic relationships with companions. They cut out all the kissing, etc. And the Doctor is this asexual figure who is just living life in all its happy, glory, happiness. Now, we need new companions. Once again, don't ask me about who the actors would be, but you can comment who you think would fit the description. So, one companion, we'd have, let's give him a Jake. Now, Jake is a thug. He doesn't actually want to travel with the Doctor, but he gets whisked away on an adventure, and I'll all explain how this happens later on in the video. But Jake develops over time, making him a relatable character to the audience because they can see his flaws, they can see his positive sides, and they can see him growing as a character and becoming nicer and stop being this thuggish individual as the Doctor's influence rubs off on him and he becomes nicer. We'd also have another companion in the TARDIS. So, second companion, let's call her, I don't know, Dorothy. Yes, that was Ace's name, but this isn't Ace. So, there's this other companion, Dorothy, who is from our time period. I'll mention as well, Jake is from the 1970s, Dorothy is from whatever time period this comes out in, so the 2030s or 2020s. She is a direct link to the audience, similar to the roles of like Rose or Amy or Clara, direct modern day companion who the audience can relate to, the fish out of water character. So, you've got your TARDIS team, you've got the Doctor, this asexual, sort of weird, quirky mix of many doctors take on the character. It doesn't actually matter if they're male or female. The gender is not really important as long as they can act the role. Then we've got Jake, who is a male, kind of thug, not very nice to start with, develops and then forms a romantic connection as the series goes on with Dorothy, who is the other companion. Now, yeah, these names are just placeholder names. Give names in the comments. So it's all well and good having your cast, your characters, your companions, your doctor, but how do you put it in the public eye? How do you make people interested? Well, we're going to start rerunning some of the classics like Tennant on TV, hyping people up. Matt Smith, Capaldi, like all the beloved shows, the Genesis of the Daleks, whatever. Things fans love. Remind all the audience that they loved this show before bringing it back. Also, what Series 12 failed to do, advertise. We're going to have adverts everywhere. Hopefully, we can afford this on the budget. I'm getting too into this, aren't I? So there's going to be proper adverts. There's going to be panels. There's going to be this. You can meet the actors, whatever. Big marketing. We're going to market this properly, unlike Series 12. So, we'd also need merchandise. Now, I don't actually know specifically what they'll be. They're action figures, books, whatever. We're going to get these figures and books ready to go when the episodes release. You can't do what Series 12 does and make people wait 7 months, because by that time they're not interested in a Jadoon Captain figure. They want it when the episode comes out. Now, you also want this advertised on all platforms, so we're going to have, like, there's already an official Doctor Who YouTube channel, there's going to be all this stuff, there's going to be, yeah, just advertising central. Similar to Ryan, we're going to have the companion of Dorothy be a sort of YouTube style thing.
Smart, funny, caring, special.
So, in teasers and in lead-ups to the episodes, we're going to post online little Easter egg hunts for people to find little clips of their adventures, which Dorothy has filmed and uploaded to YouTube. This will then give them sort of trailer-esque style things that can hype them up. Similar to, if you've ever seen the show Humans from Channel 4, they did big advertising campaigns where they suggested that these synth creatures were real. We're going to do the same sort of thing and pull in a massive audience, get it trending on Twitter, etc. Now, we also need big name guest stars. So, we don't want to spam the audience with villains and classic monsters straight away, but one villain I would bring back is the Valeyard, in the form of Idris Elba. Now, Idris Elba is an esteemed English actor, famous, iconic. He'd be a big guest star that would bring people in. So yeah, you have him play a villain who can recur throughout the series, because he does have that really menacing and like great detective sort of theme from Luther, which I think could play really well in a character like the Valeyard, because he is the evil version of the Doctor.
The Valeyard is an amalgamation of the darker sides of your nature, somewhere between your 12th and final incarnation.
We don't want to confuse the audience, we don't want to bog them down with lore, so we're not addressing the Timeless Child stuff straight away. We're going to build up to Doctor Who at its height and complexity later on in different seasons. This first season needs to do what Series 11 tried and bring a fresh take while still holding classic elements and retaining people's attention. Now, it all needs to be building up to a big point. We need to give people a reason to actually care about the show. So, similar to RTD's style, we plant little Easter eggs and it would build up. So, Series 1, you'd have a normal, happy sort of Doctor Who finale with a singular Dalek, because we need to make the Daleks a threat again. You give them one Dalek, like the episode Dalek, and they become much scarier than an army of Daleks like Alien and Aliens. So, you have Series 1 finale with one Dalek. Series 2 finale, you bring back Omega. Series 3 finale, we'll get to that in another video.
Spoilers.
But you see my point, you build up these enemies and make them a proper threat and make people really, really intrigued and trying to build to this final point, similar to Endgame or Infinity War, where everything links together. Give people a reason to talk about the show, because if there's all these questions, like Series 12 actually did this really well, There's so many questions that you can't help but keep discussing them with other fans, and it makes people want to watch and catch up on the show, so yeah. Also, because TV is actually a dying media, I think making a deal with Netflix, not giving it to Netflix, but maybe similar to how Rick and Morty airs on Channel 4 and airs on Netflix simultaneously, you could have Doctor Who air on, I don't know, Amazon Prime and Netflix and the BBC all simultaneously if they each get a percentage of the money, and with this sort of deal, Netflix could be giving more money to up the budget of the show itself, so yeah. Now, another important thing which bugs many people, drop the on-the-nose political messaging. Yes, Doctor Who has politics in, yes, they kind of need to be there, but don't make it so obvious like horrific things such as Orphan 55.
Benny. Benny.
Where it just doesn't work and bugs the audience. We don't want to antagonise anyone in the audience because at the end of the day, Doctor Who is a show for anyone and everyone. So, if this video is successful and if you want to see, I will release another video where I go in depth on the characters and plan and plots of what I do with Doctor Who. But I'll start you off with how the series itself would start. So, we'd follow this character of Jake, who is 1970s, smashes a shop window with his brother, they start stealing food and whatever, and it's revealed that they're stealing for the good of their family because they're not well off, miners strike, whatever. Now, the police arrive on the scene. Jake and his brother get on motorbikes, drive off, he's cornered by police, Jake is flung into a police box, and it happens to be the TARDIS. So you've got this criminal thrown into the police box, holding a gun, door shut behind him by the police officers who are smug, standing outside. The TARDIS dematerialises off, the police are left outside, confused, wondering what happened, and it's materialised off because inside we see Jake shoot the console because he's just been flung into this police box holding a gun, full of adrenaline. He sees the Doctor. This is the first time we're introduced to this new Doctor. And yeah, we get to see the Doctor in full action, trying to solve all these problems at once, lots of drama, and it should be very fun. So, that brings us to the end of today's video. If you do want to see what I'd actually properly do with the show, where I'll go into full detail on these new characters, this new Doctor, the build-up of the series and the final enemies, etc., please drop them in the comments and I'd love to make that video. We're also very close to 2,000 subscribers, so thank you very much. If we could hit that milestone, that would be absolutely brilliant. That does truly bring us to the end of today's video. If you did enjoy, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Goodbye.
Don't forget to click below.
Subscribe to The Confused Adipose.